Hello, welcome. My name is Bjorn. Thank you for joining me today. And today we're going to continue on down the path of my Templar homebrew class. If you'd like, you can go ahead and download the PDF in my Discord. The link will be down in the description below to join the Discord. And today we're going to be looking at the path of the Lorekeeper. So today, the Lorekeepers are tasked to go out and seek knowledge, be it on some mundane piece of information, be it on a current threat, or to keep close records of history, both natural and supernatural, to ensure that history may not repeat itself now or in the future. Although immersed in some of the darkest corners of the world, they yet still find themselves to be a guiding light for those around them. So, what does this mean for us? You're kind of like a bard. You're kind of like a bard. You know, there's a repeating pattern here of similar things to bard and etc. These are just different ways to play it, and this is different ways in which you can be able to experience the world without being a bard, etc. And more fun, unique ways, really. So starting, as we can see here, this is the leveling table. 2nd level, Sacred Inspiration. 6th level, Seeker's Blade. 10th level, Unbreakable Spirit. And 14th level, Bastion of Virtue. So 2nd level, we gain 3 cantrips, pardon me. We gain the Guidance, True Strike, and Dancing Light cantrips. Guidance, I felt, was most important for this character because Guidance is a very powerful cantrip. Dancing Lights because, you know, we're guiding people throughout the dark kind of idea. You know, we're the light at the end of the tunnel kind of shit. And then True Strike is going to be part of the class feature. True Strike is kind of a throwaway cantrip, honestly. I don't like True Strike. It's a garbage cantrip, flat out garbage. But how a later ability through the Seeker's Blade is going to improve it. It's just a continuity kind of thing to show that there's a progression of you working with it. Yeah. Easy reason to just give it. I don't see people using True Strike because the math makes more sense to not use True Strike. That's how bad True Strike is. In addition, you gain proficiency in the History and Arcana skills. If you don't already have it, your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check you make that uses either of those proficiencies. So again, very similar to exactly the same as other classes. This is focusing more on the History and the Arcana side, and, you know, filling out that role within the temple. So coming on down to 6th level here, we gain our Seeker's Blade ability. Your pursuit of knowledge and of the unknown has only heightened your resolve. As such, you've gained the following. Instead of waiting until your next turn to gain the benefits of True Strike, you instead gain it this round. When you do this, it grants a inspiration D6 at 6th, D8 at 10th, and D10 at 14th to an individual of your choosing that is within 30 feet. You can do this a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier per short rest. Should you critically hit on this round of combat, you will gain half rounded up of your spent hit dice. That's a pretty big one there. It's very obviously akin to how the Bard's Inspiration works. You get it at a much later level, though. Again, I didn't want to just give this at 2nd level. I wanted you to work into it and to earn this kind of shit. And, yeah, so being able to just True Strike right now, I feel like that's impressive. Like, you're able to just give yourself advantage for that round of combat, and you have extra attack. So, attacks at both at advantage, yeah. And you can do this a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier per short rest. That way it's reining in the power of the ability, and also it's the exact same as the Bard's inspiration die. They can give out as many as they can charisma points, charisma modifiers that they have. So in this case, I'm assuming you're going to get your wisdom up to 5. You're going to have 5. And then that inspiration die just goes up with each level because that feels appropriate. It would be kind of shitty if it didn't, really. So there you go. And then, of course, if you critically hit on that round of combat, you regain rounded up half of your spent hit dice. Again, this is very RNG. Even though you have advantage on those attacks, which is a pretty good chance to critically hit, you may not regain those hit dice. The Crusader has a more sure way of regaining those hit dice because they can expend... They can use their ability when they want, and if they critical hit, that's when they would regain it. With this, you have to use this ability and then see if you critical hit on that. That's how it's going to be, but, I mean, you're giving out inspiration. It's powerful. This is a powerful ability. I feel like it's fairly balanced. You know, I really like this one. All right, coming on down here to 10th level, we gain the Unbreakable Spirit. You can call forth your inner strength to break through even the deepest of darkness to guide you and your allies. So I reference this in the lore. It's at the top of the, it's like one of the first few things I wrote. Anyways, Once per short rest, as an action, you can radiate bright light for 30 feet and dim light for 30 feet beyond that. I need to write that in there. This breaks magical darkness. Yourself and those you designate up to your wisdom modifier within 40 feet will have disadvantage on any attack rolls made against them for 2 rounds, after which the light fades. So this is essentially a mass disadvantage. And it's not just a small mass disadvantage. It's an insane mass disadvantage. Technically, the more things you're fighting, the more things you're just giving disadvantage to. Most people's parties, they're not going to be bigger than 4 or 5, maybe 6, and that will be covered. The maximum that this can cover is 6 people, because yourself and then up to 5, assuming your wisdom modifier is 5, wisdom modifier, you can get that higher too, within 40 feet. That's fucking wild. And it lasts for 2 rounds of combat, where everything, attack rolls, spell attack rolls, anything that has an attack roll in it has disadvantage on you and your party for 2 rounds of combat. That can turn the tide of a battle like that. I couldn't even snap. But yeah, no, that's a very, very powerful ability. It's on a short rest, and as an action, it feels fine to me as a short rest. I was considering long rest, but you know, if you're taking a short rest, it's fine. It feels fine to me, and it's only 2 rounds of combat at this level. So it's fine. It's a very, very powerful ability. I really like it. At 14th level, we gain this ability called Bastion of Virtue. At 14th level, through meditation, prayer, and a great deal of studying, you've learned to push yourself beyond normal means by expending a hit dice. You may do the following. Either extend the duration of your unbreakable spirit by 2 rounds per die spent, or increase the number of people you can inspire with your Seeker's Blade by 1 die per die spent, by 1 per die spent. There we go. I'm dyslexic. Yeah. So you are able to expend a number of hit dice equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum of 1. You are not able to invest these into Unbreakable Spirit after its activation. The reason for I don't want you to invest this into after its activation is because I want to keep this to its short rest. And also, if you could just continuously pump in, hit dice into this, that would be, you could eternally have it up in a way. You could, if you got really lucky with your Seeker's Blade strikes on your Bulwark of Faith. Yeah, there's a lot of ways in which you can continuously pump in, like mostly with the Bulwark of Faith. You could essentially have your Unbreakable Spirit up the whole time if I didn't have that limitation in there. It would be like, it would depend on the rolls, but it's possible, and I didn't want that because at this point, per die spended. I'm going off of, again, 5 for 20 wisdom. So 5 times 2, that's what, 10? And then plus another 2 on top of that, so 12 rounds of combat. That's 112 seconds. 112 seconds. That's 12 rounds of combat that you and 5 other people, possibly more if you have a higher wisdom, everyone has disadvantage on attacking them. That is insanely powerful. You can only do that once a short rest, and that's why I'm considering changing it to once a long rest. But at the same time, I don't really mind it because, again, we're sacrificing hit dice. You're going to have to choose when to expend those hit dice, when to regain those hit dice. This class is a bit more risky with regaining those hit dice, so I felt like it's balanced based off on how lucky or unlucky you are. Yeah, have fun. And also the second point where you can just give more advantage to, where you can give more inspiration die out per your hit dice that you've used up. So I like that. It's a nice little feature where maybe granting mass disadvantage to everything around you isn't necessary right now, and everyone needs inspiration because everyone's passing group skill checks. Not as straightforward as the other one. It's a bit more risky to play this one because, again, it's a bit harder to regain those hit dice because you don't know if you're going to critically hit when you need to regain those. It's not like the Crusader where you can save it up, then get a crit, then regain those, because the Crusader is a bit more reliable. But with this, it's way more powerful in just the sense of a mass disadvantage. I don't think that there's anything else in the game that does that, which is why I like it so much and why I came up with it. And then just a mass inspiration given out. I think it's easy to understand. I feel like it's balanced, but the only thing I'm concerned with is the once per short rest. I'm considering changing it to once a long rest. We'll have to see. I'll have to see. I want to get some feedback on that. I want to see what people think. Once a short rest may be a bit too powerful because, yeah, it's a very, very, very insanely powerful ability to have. And yeah, I hope you like this one. I hope you like the video. I hope you like what you've seen so far. I hope you're enjoying the class if you're playing it. Consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribing, all that jazz. And have a good one. Bye-bye.